Welcome to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. Kay Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580 thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. And I have Tamika Johnson. Tamika Johnson is a licensed insurance agent for American Income Life. And guess what? This is something that all of us needs, because one thing guaranteed is what they always say: insurance and taxes. We all got to leave here. Okay? And so this is one thing that we all need. And we're just going to go ahead and get into this interview. What initially drew you to the insurance industry?
Well, it kind of happened actually by accident. It wasn't something I was actually pursuing at all. When I was first pregnant, I was introduced to a young lady who actually came to my job site while I was pregnant at a construction site in my machine, minding my own business. And she asked me if I wanted a financial needs analysis. And I was asking her what it was, and she was talking about, like, kind of goes over your budget and everything. And then, of course, I asked her how much it was, and she said it was free. And so I like free, of course.
Come on now.
So she came to my house, and she met with me and my husband, and we went over our paperwork for my own life insurance. So I was ignorant like everybody else. The agents come to your house, you sign the papers. They say, based off your age and height and weight, this is how much you have to pay. And that's what I did, And then when she came to my house, we were looking over my paperwork, and I was seeing how much I had to pay versus how much I was paying. And then I was highly upset because I felt like I had been ripped off by the agent who came to my house. Mm-hmm. And I started to look into insurance for myself, just the different types of insurance. Even if it's a term policy, you learn the difference between the different term policies, the difference between like a universal policy versus a whole life. Just getting that information, because I felt like that gave me a better edge on my own finances and my own generational wealth. So when I leave out, to make sure my family was taken care of properly.
All right. So you said you got into it on an accident. This wasn't
an accident.
Okay. So she came up to the job and she said, well, I'm going to give you this financial need analysis. She didn't even tell you what it was, huh?
No, it was just a financial needs analysis to kind of go over your budget. And at the time, I was making a lot of money, but I was careless with my money. So sitting down to talk to someone about finances and budgeting was something apparently I needed to hear.
And she just went over like the age, the weight, and nothing really much, just you need this. And that was it. And just left you hanging.
Yeah, so like I said, that's what they did. They literally came to the house and said, for me and my husband and my children, we're going to have to pay like $300-some a month for life insurance.
Ooh.
And we signed the line, and that's what was coming out of our bank account, 114 for me, and I think it was like 189 or something like that for my husband.
Whoa.
And then when I met with the young lady about the financial needs analysis, when she was going over, she worked for, a different company, and she was going over my life insurance policy, and it literally said that my policy, all I had to pay was $35, but I was paying $114. It literally said my husband only had to pay $70-some when he was paying $180-some. So I was not too happy, and like I said, from then, I started just looking into it and doing my homework on what, I was like everybody else. I knew I got something, so I thought I was good.
Wow, 114 at 189. She was charging. That was a card note.
That
combined.
was a nice commission. That was a nice commission. Nice commission check.
Oh my goodness! You talk about rob somebody, and then you was over expecting. You would think that they would have, try to do that. But like you said, do your own homework.
Your own homework.
Yeah. So once you did your homework, then what happened after that?
After I did my homework, I was still working, still doing construction. And then COVID happened. And the young lady who had been talking to me since 2012 had reached out to me in 2020 and invited me to a ladies, what was it called? Women and Money webinar.
Okay.
And I was at home with my kids because they were being homeschooled, and everything just made sense. And I'm just sitting home doing nothing anywhere. If I'm going to be sitting home, I might as well make some money. And so she she extended the opportunity to me again, and I jumped on board and went full throttle. But I love the company I was with because they actually teach the principles of education and education for life insurance and finances. We were taught that, of course, when we pass away, we have a physical death, but we also have a financial death that a lot of people don't talk about. So it kind of just all went hand in hand. And there, outside of that, I've been doing taxes for over 30-some years, so it just made sense while we're talking about taxes and finances and budget and retirement and leaving a will or a bill, and then this just tied into everything else that I had going on already. So it was just full circle for me.
Wow. Okay, so you went to a ladies' woman webinar about money, and everything just came full throttle. And then, like you said, taxes. You do taxes. It is tax season,
and it's tax season.
It is tax season, and Tamika Johnson can do your taxes. Not only can she do your life insurance, she can do that too. So let's go ahead and put that out there. So if anybody needs some taxes before April, well, I mean, you got the whole. If people want to file late, you still could get them together, right?
I can still get them together as long as they file the extension. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you guys heard that here. As long as you guys file extension, she can still get you together. So make sure so she can give you a need analysis, okay? and see what you need, because she has it. But like you said, I mean, taxes, insurance, it all goes hand in hand. And when we leave here, you mentioned there's a physical death, but then there's also a financial death. Did you want to go in a little bit on that? Because that's what a lot of people don't do, because they want to do the fish fries, right, Tamika? And they want to do the GoFundMe.
That is the issue. So, of course, we'll meet with a lot of people who say, they have benefits through their jobs, right?
Right.
We consider those temporary benefits because they do not belong to you. They belong to that company. You don't have a say-so over them or anything. So once you change your career or you retire, those benefits don't go with you. So we teach people about having permanent benefits. So permanent benefits, they don't expire. They belong to you. You have all the say-so. And on the top of that, your premium does not, and I'm going to repeat again, does not go higher. It does not increase. And your benefits do not decrease. So, of course, like I said, we know that we all are going to pass away. We know we cannot escape that. Though plenty of people have tried it, but there's no cure for death. It's up for Jesus. That's it. Just come to Him, and that's all you got coming to you. But outside of that, of course, we have a financial death. So I hate it when people, I'm not going to say the word hate. I love people who have life insurance, whether it's through me or anybody, right?
Right.
What I don't like is like people like me, they don't do their homework. We assume all insurances are equal, right? And they're not. So then, okay, you have life insurance through your job. You might have $10,000 policy. You might have, a $200,000 policy. But it's still a term policy. It still expires. It doesn't belong to you. Okay, so just say the average person. The average person on the job has about $20,000 to $30,000 of life insurance, which to some people, unfortunately, sounds like a lot of money, and that is chump change.
Right.
So the average funeral is going to cost you anywhere between $10,000 to $15,000. So you had $30,000, that leaves you an extra $15,000 for your family. But what person can live off of $15,000 for the rest of their life?
Right.
Nobody. People are already, struggling. People are already living, I call it just over broke, having a job. Just over broke. And if you can't live 1 year off of $15,000, how your family, your children, the house you just bought that you worked so hard for, your estate, how can that stay in existence for $15,000 that's left for your family for the rest of their life? And they can't. So I teach people, of course, like I said, we got the physical death, we have the financial death. So when it comes to finances, trying to teach people to make sure that they save, properly.
Mm-hmm.
You pay yourself first. You put money in a savings account. It's important to have an emergency savings fund because emergencies happen all the time. They're called accidents. It's not, you're driving down the street, you blow out a tire. You need a new tire. You need a new transmission.
Right.
Your stove go out, your washer go out. And then you're trying to get loans and borrowing money because we don't plan properly. You buy a house. When you pass away, do you got to sell the house that you worked so hard for because you didn't have insurance to cover the mortgage? And now we went from 2 incomes in the house to 1 income in the house. So people don't think about those things. They just think about, I got something to bury me, but that's just for you. Everything else is for the family that needs to be taken care of. So, Kay, when I meet with a lot of my clients, I ask them when they pass away, do they want their family and children to be better off or worse off than when they left here?
Come on now.
Now, I'll get 95% to say they want their children to be better off. And then you get that 5% who's just ignorant, who does not care, who they don't care if they got to do a GoFundMe. They don't care if they got to do the chicken sales, bake sales, T-shirt sales. They don't care if they got to leave it for somebody else. And that's the sad part about it. But a lot of people just don't know. Or they say, my mama got me something, or my grandmother got me something when I was a kid. But now they're grown with their own family, and they don't even know what they have.
Mm.
And if they don't have anything, that means their children don't have anything. And children are dying more than adults are right now.
Wow.
But we don't talk about those things. They dying in school. They dying at the playgrounds. They dying at Walmart. They getting killed trying to go to the movies. They getting killed at the playgrounds down the street. Like, this is everyday life in college. So you're going to have a world full of old people that don't have insurance because they didn't think about getting it. And then you got all the people who's passing away now who don't even think insurance is a necessity.
Sad.
And the Bible says, we're supposed to leave an inheritance for our children's children. And they don't even have, excuse my French, a pot to piss in before this in their own generation.
Come on now.
So I'm just going to teach my children to do the same thing, and they're going to teach their children to do the same thing. So when do we break the cycle? Like, when is enough enough?
I love that. So breaking generational curses. And then you mentioned permanent and temporary insurance. Like you said, the job is temporary. And speaking of the job being temporary, if everybody, you don't even have to watch the news. I don't watch the news. But if you on social media, every day is somebody losing their jobs. And his job's up. And these just ain't any jobs. These some good jobs. Mm-hmm. And they are up. They are up at this moment.
Yeah, just come to work and the building's closed, and here's your severance check. Nice doing business with you. And that's nice if they give you a severance.
If they give you a severance check.
Yes. You've been there 30 years. Nice meeting you, Joe. Bye. The doors are closed. Sorry for you.
Sorry for you. And that's temporary insurance. So
that's
your insurance
temporary.
Gone. So the
everything
job
is gone. Your health insurance,
yep.
Your life insurance, all your benefits,
all
401k, pension, everything. It bellies up with the company. They go, they say they bankrupt. They have nothing to pay you.
Nothing to pay you. So,
but people don't think about that stuff either.
So this is definitely a time to do those need analysis, because a lot of people gonna be needing, and at the end of the day, we all gonna need insurance. I feel like some people, that's the first thing they let go, but that's the thing we need to keep.
Yeah, but it's sad that insurance is the first thing to go when people lose a job or they money tight. They figure, I could just cancel this bill. Let me eliminate this bill. Life insurance is the only bill you need to make sure you pay if you don't pay nothing else.
That part.
And then you got people, of course, who got insurance on their cell phones. They got insurance on their cars, their houses, the things in their houses, but their bodies and their family is zero. And that's sad. They got money to get their hair done, their nails done, go on vacations, buy all the nice clothes and fancy things that they want, and pass away, nothing. Nothing for their spouses, nothing for their kids, nothing for their grandkids, nothing set aside, just nothing.
Just nothing. That is
just nothing.
And like you said, it's kids dying more than adults. It's a lot of kids. This one gentleman, rest in peace, he was going to school. I think in Louisiana. He was pledging, and he died. I think they said he allegedly got punched or something. There's still investigation, but that's something. His mama and daddy sent him to school. God bless him, and he died. So that's an unfortunate thing too. Stuff like you said, kids getting killed at the park, and the thing about the kids is if you have a newborn, it's the cheapest they're gonna be able to get insurance. Get insurance as soon as they're born. Don't wait, because the younger you are, the cheaper the insurance is always going to be.
That is correct. That's what we tell people to get it while they're young and healthy, because a lot of people assume that insurance is based off their income and their money. Your money doesn't qualify you. It's your age and your health. You could be a millionaire, and if you got all these different ailments, they're not going to cover you because it's a risk that they're taking on. That's where they look at your habits and how you live. A lot of people say, oh, well, it's not fair if my family's incarcerated. Why can't they get life insurance? They look at your lifestyle. Oh, they sell drugs. You got, different assaults against police officers because they figure you're not going to live long and you're considered a high risk. It's just like car insurance. If you got a bad driver record, your insurance is going to be higher, right, opposed to a person who has, a good driving record. So it's the same thing. I don't know why when it comes to life insurance, people think it operates any differently.
Right. So, yeah, if somebody out there, they don't want the person getting in all the accidents and the DUIs, and that's not somebody they want. They want somebody with a good record, stop at the stoplight. So the same thing. So if you're out there being reckless and doing stuff, they don't want to cover you.
That is correct.
And then plus one thing I think a lot of people fail to forget are diseases. So sometimes, God forbid, cancer has no age. So that's why we have the St. Jude's. So God forbid, you never know. You want to do that, get it before, like you said, the preconditions, because you don't want them to say, I can't cover your baby, but my baby needs insurance now. Yeah, but we can't cover them. So the best thing, it's going to be the cheapest, you guys. So when you had that baby, I encourage, and all these lavish baby showers we're doing, $15,000 for a baby shower, and ain't nobody got insurance.
Don't forget the gender reveal.
Oh, the
don't
gender reveal. Oh, I skipped that one. Okay, so that's about $5,000 or $8,000. Then we got the lavish baby shower, and all these people want are the Jordans and the matching set Jordans for the mama and the daddy and the baby, but they don't want the insurance. So somebody, the mama, grandmama, somebody, if you guys out there listening, let's get these babies some insurance, and Tamika will be able to help you out.
I tell people, okay, during Christmas time, the best gift to give all your kids and grandkids is a policy.
Absolutely.
They're going to take all the toy money. They're going to buy these toys. They play with a week, 2 weeks top. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on Christmas. Like I say, they play with it very little, and then after that is gone, and that could have been in the policy. Building cash value, building up for their future. And that money's just gone down the drain till next year.
And then half of the toys, it's like half of these kids, you don't even need to get them toys. You just get them the box. They play with the box more than they play with the toy. They play with the lock-up shoes more than they want to be in the Jordans. But since people want their kids to have stuff they never had, and that's a lot is the problem. They wanted their kids to have stuff. They
didn't have insurance either. That's why they need
it. Yep.
They ain't rushing to get that.
They ain't rushing to get it, but they need to. We gonna, yes, hopefully after this conversation, it will urge a lot of people to get insurance because, once again, it's something we can't escape it. That's one thing in life we will not escape. So do you want your family to be suffering and crying? Sometimes you think they crying because you died. No, they crying because they got these bills.
Yeah,
They
that's
got
going to keep coming. The mortgage is not going to change because I passed away. My car note ain't going to change because I'm passed away. My kids' school fees and tuitions is not going to change when I pass away. So, okay, you got your $10,000 for yourself, great. But what about for all the people that you're leaving behind? What does that life look like? So I just have real conversations with people, okay, because I just try to show them a better picture. Or somebody might say, oh, well, once I come back from vacation, or, once I go, call me after the holidays. It's like you're assuming you're going to even be here after the holidays. So
right.
People die, it used to be here today, gone tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Now it's here today, gone today.
You ain't lying.
But tomorrow's not promised to nobody. So while you have the chance to get your affairs in order, that's what you need to be doing as soon as possible, like yesterday. Absolutely. You can't afford not to have it.
And the age you're at now is the best age, because that's the youngest you're going to be. Because every time it's going to go up at different ages.
Yeah.
So
it had a guy, Kay, he was 79, mm-hmm. and he wanted like $100,000 policy. He was trying to make sure he had enough insurance to pay off his house if he passed, not if, I guess, when he passed away, so mm-hmm. his wife to have something. Of course, for a $100,000 policy for a 79-year-old is not cheap.
Not cheap.
And then he wanted to know why was it so expensive. So I know some of these people listening to me do not know me, but Kate does, and I stick by mine. So I asked the gentleman, I said, well, do you want me to lie to you or do you want me to tell you the truth? He said, I want you to tell me the truth. I said, well, you decided to wait till you're almost 80 years old to get life insurance. You're older. Your health is crap, right?
Right.
And I said, but you've been knowing for 79 years that you've been needing life insurance.
Come on now.
As I said, I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt because you was a kid, right?
Right.
But for the last 50 years, you've been knowing you needed life insurance. And I asked him, how many people passed away that you know without life insurance? More than a handful, he told me. Mm. And you still don't have any. So what are you waiting on?
Right. And time waits on for no one. Like
Nobody.
You said, here today and gone today. We are all on the list.
You all put on notice. Everybody. So I just wish people would really just take the time. Even if you have life insurance, look at it, read the policy, make sure you do have the right type of policy. Make sure your family will benefit, from it. See how much cash value you have up. See, will it pay out 100% when you pass away? See if you have to wait, even have a waiting period. Because once again, a lot of people don't read nothing.
Right.
And then when the person passes away and they thought they had $50,000 or $100,000, they only get paid half or they only get paid their premiums, they mad at somebody. But it's us because we didn't do our homework in the beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we have to do that, do our homework. And, maybe we could start having, since they have gender reveal parties, maybe we need to start having life insurance policies. Invite people over, have a party, and go over people policies. And if they don't have one, get one. Even if you get a small one, get one.
Look, we should be like old girl like Oprah. You get a policy. You get a policy.
Right.
You get a policy.
Right.
Everybody get a policy. Okay?
Everybody get a policy. We can maybe start doing those. Do a policy party. Okay, be like, yes, be like, oh, come over. We're gonna have a policy party. Okay, y'all come, because we all need it. Everybody, as long as you got breath, you need it. If you're listening, you need it. All ages, don't discriminate. We do not all ages. Y'all need it.
Yes, ma'am.
It is something that is never gonna go away. So as long as you got them babies, go ahead, get Tamika a call. We do all ages, okay? We are not
14 days and up.
How many days?
14 days old.
14 days old. 2 weeks. Come on, y'all. Just like you get paid every 2 weeks. Remember that 2 weeks? When your baby? Get Tamika a call.
Hey. I mean, we laughing, but we serious at the same time.
Absolutely. Because this is something, education, and when people don't know, that's why we're doing this as well, because a lot of people don't know, and it's something that is much needed. And the great thing about it, this will be on YouTube. So if you guys, missed the episode, you can listen to it again. Share it with a friend. Somebody who just had a baby. Somebody who is older. You got an older parent or somebody in their life, and they be like, oh, I still don't have insurance. Send this to them so they could get some education and get on it and get Tamika a call. How can we reach you, Tamika?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked, Kay. I could be reached at my phone number. I'm still old school. I still have a phone number, which is 216-804-2707. I can also be reached on Facebook, which is Tamika Sunshine Johnson. You'll only know it's me. It's probably a lot of Tamika Sunshine, but the one smiling with the sunshine, that would be me. I'm also on Instagram with Tamika_1sunshine. And then my email is Tamika7130@yahoo.com. I'm with AO Infinite. We help veterans, service the police, the teachers, and the labor unions. We also have Head Start programs, so even if a parent doesn't qualify for life insurance, their kids still can get that as well. And I'm not knocking Gerber because my older children have Gerber, but this is cheaper than Gerber's, and you get more face value as well. We also help cancer. We do cancer protection, income protection, mortgage protection, critical illness, waiver of premium. So if you get laid off of work and can't go to work, or your job goes on strike, or you get sick, you're still covered until you go back to work. So we do a little bit of everything. We just try to help everyone become financially fit. We wanted you to leave a will, not a bill.
Come on.
And this is where this is where God has led me to be at. So this is what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And a lot of our services and benefits are free. We also do the $2,000 accidental death dismemberment certificate. We help you with your living will, your power of attorneys, your family information guides. We have child safety kits that's partnered directly with the Amber Alert. So please call me. At least get your free benefits. Get a free look over for your insurance like I did to save some money and to make sure that your family is properly protected.
Thank you, Tamika. All right. And with me, you guys, we always need sponsors for the show. So you can always email me at kwillispositiveVibesTalkshow@gmail.com. And it's K Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. Please like, share, and subscribe to the K Willis Positive Vibes podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the K Willis Positive Vibes podcast. Please order my book, The Principles of Overcoming Life's Obstacles, a 31-day journey to positive living, available on Amazon.com. Until next time, stay positive.